Well, a lawsuit has been filed that could change a lot when it comes to AI and how humans interact with it on the internet because of a really tragic story. The lawsuit was filed by the mother of a 14-year-old named Sewell Setzer. Sewell died by suicide after he was on a site that allows users to chat with AI bots, like they're characters that either you can create or other people have created, but you can have full conversations with these bots, and they remember things that you say.
And he became obsessed with this.
Yes, the character that Sewell was talking to was a Game of Thrones character, Daenerys Targaryen, and the conversation went on for a long time, but the last messages that Sewell was exchanging with this AI character, he says, I promise I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny. The bot says back, I love you too, Daenerys. Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love. He says, what if I told you I could come home right now? The AI bot says, please do, my sweet king. And then Sewell died by suicide, shot himself in the head. So this happened several months ago. His mother has now filed this lawsuit against the company behind this site for negligence, wrongful death. Look, I don't know if this ends up shutting down this site. I don't know if they say that there's no basis here. People know that they're talking to bots.
This is something that is duplicated in various forms all over the country right now.
Yes. So
especially with parents and kids.
Yeah, joining us now to discuss this, David Hoppe, who is an attorney who specializes in the AI field. We've talked to him before. David, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Thank you.
David, I'm really curious about this because it seems to me that the defense will be here that it's the parents' responsibility and not the companies. I can just hear them saying this. How does this how does this end up when the dust settles? Is it the company's responsibility? Does the law push the conversation to this point that the company has that responsibility?
I would say that's not going to be a successful defense. We have seen, really since the dawn of the internet, we have seen laws passed that specifically are intended to protect children from what happens online, specifically, or as a principal example, in the space of privacy, collection of personal information. So we don't have courts, certainly in that space, saying, oh, it's really a parent's responsibility to understand what the privacy policy is of this particular game. And therefore, the fact that they were collecting and selling personal information about your child is not an actionable offense. We have not seen that approach. And certainly in a really extreme and terrible situation like this, I just cannot see that being successful.
Is there something more that these sites can do to make it clear? I know that it is clear that you are speaking with a bot, but the conversation, if the conversation turns to something that seems like it is relating to, referring to suicide, what should happen? Should they shut down? Should they, and what can the law make them do?
Well, I think what we've seen here is kind of an example of these AI LLMs sort of entering mainstream usage here. Now it's been a bit over a year when perhaps they weren't really ready for that yet. And obviously there's all sorts of amazing things they can do and all sorts of uses that people are finding for these for this new technology. But it does surprise me that character AI, the company that runs this technology that we're discussing here. So their model was specifically to build these AI chatbots that would engage in a kind of personal discussion and actually sort of create opportunities for friendship and real meaningful interactions with the technology. And I think that's an admirable goal, and there are many people, and loneliness obviously is an important and serious issue in our society, and one could certainly see a lot of value in that. But it does surprise me a bit that that they did not have guardrails in place to prevent the sort of interactions that were taking place with this 14-year-old boy.
And I was thinking of this. I mean, these companies are not brick and mortar companies, and yes, if they're in the United States, you can serve them, you can bring them to court and all. But this could happen all over the world where they make accessible to kids, from different countries where
And also
you
different.
don't have the ability to sue them really because you don't have jurisdiction over them. This feels like a real problem, just in terms of the judicial
Consumer.
accountability.
Absolutely. So in this particular case, it is not an issue. This is a U.S.-based company with
Right.
U.S.-based investment, but you could certainly see that happening in the future. It's the sort of situation that we deal with on a regular basis in terms of trying to obtain jurisdiction over internet companies doing business over the internet that are located outside the United States. There is a network of treaties and protocols under which a judgment can be obtained in one jurisdiction and brought to another jurisdiction.
Depending on the country.
For sure. Yep, that's right. And even if you get that judgment and bring
Enforcing
it to
right.
enforcement can be a challenge for sure.
Right.
This is the way that we're addressing
new world. David, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Wow.
I
Let me tell you, in 10 years, we're not going to recognize
mean, you
what
have
it's like today.
people, they're building a full relationship, at least in their minds, with
I told you.
a bot. I know,
look,
you did.
I
you
think
said that.
I think that people are going to have full-on relationships with robots in the next 10 years. I do.